Okay, here we go for box number 2 of the Purge. Just make sure that we got it in the right space. Excellent. May bump forward just a little here. There we go. Okay, so Amazing Chan Clan. Love the Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan. Great cartoon, so I'll be keeping that one. I picked up these Aquamans just a little bit back. There's a dead man story in that one. Number 52 there. So I'm going to hang on to those. And I know right now it looks like I'm getting rid of nothing, but eventually I will come across the stuff that I will try to thin down. Bucky O'Hare, number 1. And number 2. Trying to put together that run of those. It's actually a newsstand of that one. Not that one, but that one is. So, kind of one of those times where newsstands would have been the more hard to get a hold of. Beetle Bailey, Big Book. And Baby Huey, the Baby Giant. And that's the Harvey Giant ones. So, he knocked him out of his own fur. So again, stuff I will be keeping. Alright, now these Battle of the Planets mark number 1 of the Mark series. This is number 6 of the Battle of the Planets, which I did need. Number 9 with Keop. Number 10 with Tiny. And of course number 12, where they're giving the Elon Musk salute. Love Battle of the Planets. Love Elon Musk too. Doing a good job. Brave and the Bold reprint. Early Justice League one. And also same thing with this one. So again, sometimes be the only way you're going to be able to enjoy these, because like I said, some of them get expensive, so I'm just enjoying them while I can. Batman Adventures number 12, the reprint of that. And again, I've got multiple different types of reprints of that, and we'll keep those. That book is way out of range for anything I want to spend, especially for a character that I like best in the animated series, but not really in the regular DC universe. So I'm kind of glad they did reprints, so that'll just fall right in the slot. I think I got only one other book outside of that big one to kind of complete the whole run, so I'm not really that worried about it. Like I said, I got a lot of nice reprints of it. Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman from 77. Brave and the Bold. Little Batman and Green Arrow. I think that's Green Arrow's first time he wore that costume, so that's a quote key for that reason. Good old Dead Man Batman story. Great Neil Adams with the Wildcat and Batman cover. You have to love this one. This is the Brave and the Bold number 115. That's the big 100-pager. Again, got a lot of the great stuff, and the Dr. Fate and Our Man down there. I mean, it's just some good stuff. So, and next one's kind of a rascally rabbit, but Bugs Bunny, Dell 10 Center. So that's a big one. You can see the date stamp right there on it. Another 10 Center from Dell. Another one. You notice how he's got yellow gloves sort of there. This one he's got green gloves. He's protecting his backside like a turtle. If you look here, he's got yellow gloves. It looks like that was Susan's book or something like that, or Dell. And then last one, he's got him some blue gloves on this one when he's being the rabbit in the hat one. So again, as I explained in the other video, a lot of my stuff right now is not as much in order. So I'm just kind of doing what I can as I go through it all, such as Batman, Scooby-Doo Mysteries. Definitely keeping that as a big Scooby-Doo fan. Putting that with Batman is kind of fun to me. So, now the Batman family, I am literally only a handful away from having all of them. Number 11 there. Number 16. And I love this one with the kind of floating heads all done in the stars. Really cool. And got the Man-Bat, Huntress, Robin, Batgirl. It's all the good stuff. And also it's a $1 comic. This one, I remember when I picked it up, somebody colored in their eyes, but I already actually have one of these, but I thought for the cheap price it was worth it, as well as $207, even though it's got the little nick out of there. It was worth picking them up for relatively pretty cheap, because he had them at $2 a piece from 1968, same year I was born. It was worth it to me. Bionic Woman. Never see those out really that much, so every time I do, I kind of grab them. And this is the Crusaders. It's actually a religious comic. And another one of them, 39 cents. A lot of them you can see they go through price variants where they'll be 39, 49, 69, stuff like that. Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew, number 5. It's got the Rabbits of the Lost Ark. That's right. You can't beat that. I have one left, I think, again, of that 20-issue run, so I will find that. And I've been trying to find it in a while, but nobody really has it. Cartoon Network's Cartoons. It's actually the first appearance of Johnny Bravo, I think, in comics. So again, I always thought he was a neat character. This beautiful Captain America number 167. Again, that's another one to work on that run during that period of time. Really, really love the Captain America between the 35 cent to 50 cent. That period of time really is my wheelhouse, and I enjoy it like crazy, because I think that that's the time where you see a lot of stuff. And for those of you who enjoy some Conan, there's number 27. Again, my goal with Conan is to go up to the 50 cent mark, where they were 50 cent books. 33. I was trying to originally do the whole thing, but not only did I see that I could probably ended up doing it over time, but it just was worth more, 36, to have these along this time period. And when I come along, number 46, I felt like the ones in these early Bronze Age was so good. 47, 57, 59, 60. You got a guy on an alligator attacking you. I mean, it looks like to me. 71, 72. Trying to remember, might be her first appearance, Elite. There's 73 with her. 75. Again, just trying to put together a certain amount of that. Hard part, of course, is the early ones when you get down into it. 79. This is a Whitman one. 80. 89. 99. Now this one, even though it's not this one in particular, but this is one of the ones I pulled from the spinner rack as a kid, number 104. There was a gap. I think it was 104. I don't think 105 was on the spinner rack, but 106 was. Kind of odd back then the way they would do sometimes, because they wouldn't get something in. 122. 127. Let me see, we're working at the end of the 50 cent range. Well, this one's 142. Either this one goes out of the range and I got to check it, or that might be the Canadian variant. It may be, because I think that's at the point where they'd be 60 cent, not 75. So I got to check and make sure that I don't want to get rid of oddball ones like that where I'd have a Canadian variant. So I'll have to check that one. I'll put that one to the side. If it's just regular, then I wouldn't worry much about it. Again, Detective 31 reprint. Beautiful book though. This is my Charlton Dragon Wheels. Same thing with that one. Now, Charlton was one of those early books I picked up as a kid, so I really enjoy the Charltons because I was following, Thunderbolt and everything else back then. Doctor Strange number 4. Love that cover. Looks like it's Bruner. Yep. Now, this is a fun cartoon as well as it is a comic. There's 4 of them. I still believe I'm missing only one of the 4. Again, not one you see out there a lot. Didn't go under the Star ones. It went under Marvel. So again, I'm trying to finish putting that together. Devil Kid, starring Hot Stuff, the little devil. Everybody's eating spicy food, red hot chili, hot peppers, tacos that are spicy. Everybody's basically just sweating it up. Now this next book is pretty awesome. It is Dell's version of Dracula, the new Dracula. Again, what I like about this one is we get a, if you look, Dell did a very serious Dracula book, 1. That's considered number 1. Then they move into this Dracula, in which basically it's like they wanted to make them good guys and revamp them into something different. So as an end result, they introduced their sort of version of Dracula. This to me does not fall really under horror because it really is a superhero. And same thing with that one. I think I'm missing just a couple of those, but I think it lasted longer than the Frankenstein one did or the Wolfman. Now, Brave and the Bold special, which is not Brave and the Bold special. I think it was the DC Comics Presents from 1978. So as an end result, it's though Brave and the Bold though as part of the special. We have DC Comics Presents number 26 reprint. I have the original, but having a reprint allows you to read it 1,000 times without ever worrying about the fact that you're gonna mess up something. Even though I don't really put much effort into that. I needed that one at one time for that part of my run. I am probably maybe 10 away from completing that whole run of DC Comics Presents. I've got pretty much the big books out of it, from a lot of them, from number 1 to number 26 to Mongrel's first appearance and stuff like that. So that did help me to kind of jump ahead. Defenders number 1, the Giants, the annual. Again, rough shape, but worth me grabbing for a cheap dollar. And I needed this one Still kind of rough, and I'll be looking, but this is number 12. Got Ajax down there, but I think it's the first appearance of maybe the Unimind was what it was. And if you're a DC fan, we have some Flash comics. Again, Firestorm appears in backups of a lot of these at that point. I think this is right after he would have had his own miniseries, and then eventually his own series. A little bit of Mirror Master there. And Gorilla Grodd there going after the Flash. So I'm hoping to finish all those little things. Don't really see these out a lot, and I want to try to complete this. This is Foofer, and Foofer is a star one. It's a newsstand. Got to be cleaned up over time, and I will. But this is a cartoon that come out probably nearing the late 80s, I want to say, somewhere in that area. So, again, animated stuff is one of my big things I like to try to complete if I can, which leads into this beautiful book. And again, Fantastic Voyage was a wonderful show when I was a kid, even though it was in reruns by then. So CMDF. I have that one, and that's my low grade one, but I do have another copy of the same book. So I've kind of been, I'd pick them up if I see them. There's only 2, I think, altogether out of it. And one of that, there's 3 really. The first one is from the movie Fantastic Voyage, and then there's, I think, 2 that covers the cartoon. Maybe only 1, but I thought it was 2. But my Fantastic Four #1 reprint. Not my Fantastic Four 105. That's not a reprint. Again, at one time, I was buying up Fantastic Four like crazy. Nobody seemed to want them in comparison. No movie announcements, no anything. So I bought them. And I filled in all my stuff, and I got a ton of them all the way back. And I was buying them at $2 a piece and things like that. And eventually people started to pay attention and started charging much more, and then people started looking at different issues and sticking higher prices on them, and as an end result, it slowed down my buying. Here's number 11 from 1976. Phenomenal year to be a collector to begin with. And number 12 from 1977. These are truly the golden years of comics to me. I believe that during those 70s, there was so much good stuff. And there is the reprint of Green Lantern number 59. I did pick up John Stewart's first appearance this past year. But Guy Gardner's is not one of them, so this will do perfectly fine for me. Unless I run into like a really great deal. Now the next 5 I will show you will be the whole run of The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. And I have a couple doubles on these, but I just picked these up not long ago. Stephanie Powers is one of those that is one of my top redheads. Even though you can't see it in this picture like you can in that one. You do see it way better there. Beautiful. Sexy woman. Love Heart to Heart. Thought that was a wonderful show. I always wanted to find my Mrs. Hart. Now this one I'm going to put to the side. And the reason is as I grew up, I really didn't have anything Howard the Duck except maybe a random here or there. Only more recently. Now this one I could hold on to because it's only 3 issues. It's the movie one, not the actual regular series. And even though I have a lot of the regular series, I may actually get rid of it. Again, there's a handful of them in it that I want, the Star Wars parody, stuff like that. But as a whole, I will keep probably the movie one, but get rid of really the comic book ones. Mostly because, like I said, it just, never really did as much for me as a kid, so. But this show, loved it as a kid, as well as, that's number 1, so that's the first one. Loved it as a kid, but not only did I love it as a kid, but even now, I go actually and spend Friday to Saturday over at my mom's house. Me and my daughter do, and during the time I'm there, this comes on at night, so we kind of set up and we watch it. So I get a chance to enjoy a quality time with my mom and actually watch Hogan's Heroes, little Andy Griffith, stuff like that. Another one, number 7. And I'd like to finish that one too. Like I said, love the show. Like to have all of them when I'm done. And then this. The beautiful, beautiful Honey West. And yes, if you actually know Burke's Law is where Honey West made her appearance. She was a private detective on that, just I think an episode or so. They tried to spin it off and give her her own show, and I think it didn't really last. But I don't know if it's just because people were not ready to watch the woman run around and do everything back then, but I'm telling you, that show should have lasted a while. Last part of this box, more recent pickup of the Herculoids. Not sure I'm going to keep focused on this kind of stuff because, again, it gets to be just too much to keep track of all the new, when really I want to focus on the old and spend money on the older stuff where they appear at. And Humanoids, number 1 from Star Comics. Again, toy line / cartoon comic book. So, and picked up number 3 a little bit back. Definitely want to work on finishing that. I think I've got 1 maybe left to get to that. Last 2 is our friend the Hulk, number 258. And last but not least is number 259, but it is a 20 pence variant, so it is not the norm. And again, I apologize as I showed my collection and told you about thinning things down. I have yet to come across those, but now I do have a stack over here of purging books, so I may show them next time just to show you some of the stuff I am thinking about purging and let you know. Alright, I appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully you're enjoying each box I go through, and it'll come and go because, like I said, I got life going on, so we'll see what happens. And so I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.